All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Batty Overwatch League. Coming at you for Game 2. I'm AJS0 here with Cal, aka Hook Resets. And we're not going to ask how we're feeling. Instead, we're going
Yeah,
to
you know.
talk about this game, which when the production schedule came out this week and I saw that I had 3 Dans 1 Cup versus the Bench Life of Zach and Cody, I was super excited. I thought this was the on-paper matchup of the week because until 3D1C start losing maps, I think most of their games are going to be the matchup of the week. Everyone wants to see, how does each different team come at this squad? And I know 30 was saying on the pre-show, he thinks he has some plans. 30 normally kind of known in this league for being a great planner. I'm uh I'm excited to see what Bench Life has in store for the undefeated team.
Yeah, 30 definitely been playing a lot of different picks. We've seen some Sombra, we've seen Widowmaker. He's out-widowed pretty much the rest of the league so far. And against this team in particular, with Heron's Pharah, it's important to have a good hit scan, and I'm 100% expecting just Widowmaker all day, really.
Yeah, and even if
Yeah.
Heron swaps off the Farah, it's mostly been to the Hanzo this season. We saw 30. He's very happy to go into those sniper duels. So this could be a huge night for 30 to really assert his dominance.
Yeah. And I think 3 Dans 1 Cup does a really good job of playing around Heron specifically. Um, so we'll have to see if between the two DPS who can really shine harder, but there's
Um,
definitely a lot more players than just them. Like Cruise Master coming back after his first week was pretty huge. We'll have to see if he can keep up to the hype.
yeah, real quick,
Um,
guys. I don't know if you see chat on stream. For those of you that are unaware, we're currently having one player with a technical difficulty. We have all 12 players here. We're just trying to get this technical issue sorted out. So it'll hopefully just be a moment here. But we'll keep breaking this down in the meantime because I have a lot of Overwatch to talk about. I don't get to wake up in time to do this pre-show very often, so this is my pre-show. Game
this,
delays.
this is the game pre talk. Really.
But yeah, I'm really excited to watch Cruise Master play tonight. Um, I I was blown away by how well he played in week 1. I thought he had been kind of a slowly declining player. He doesn't play a ton of Overwatch or anything. I just didn't expect to see him play at such a high level. And he played off the pressure that Josh Danko put out so well.
Yeah, and with the Zarya like Josh Danko, it definitely makes sense that their Rhines can do as well as they do. But definitely got to be looking out for those the tank matchup, as Valk's got to try to be reclaiming his throne as a really solid Reinhardt. But what the last matchup I do want to look at is the supports, because on these teams specifically, the supports might be still second most important, but Dano and Checkers particularly have been insane. Zed's been doing fine on the Mercy, but he's not Checkers killing the enemy team by himself. And I think Dano just almost carried his team, particularly in his match against us.
Holy shit. Dano has been playing out of his mind this season. I mean, he's perennially been one of the best supports in the league and kind of our well-renowned Ana player. And just
Yeah.
these massive grenades he's gotten. He is single-handedly winning so many fights for his team. And it's been really awesome to see Dano get to settle into that support role because last season, you guys might remember, Dano with the we gotta name this award, the award for playing the most heroes in the season. But he played like 22 heroes over the course of the season. He played all 3 roles pretty close to equally for the last place Team Jeff from the Overwatch team.
We
And
just call it the Dano Award.
I guess that could
At
be the
this
Dano
point.
Award because he kind of started it. But now he gets to settle and exclusively focus on practicing his support, figure out exactly all the nuance to playing the role within his team instead of trying to do a little bit of everything. And he's just excelling so much more than we were ever able to see out of him last season. It's been awesome. I love watching good support play.
And Dano, the Ana particularly coming back into the meta, it's really super important, particularly when you can get those anti-nades. It completely shuts down Zenyatta in a way, and it allows like Zarya grabs to be huge. It looks like we will be getting a sub for Heron, as Cuban Pete will be stepping up in the DPS role, unless they are looking for other
Yeah, it's this technical issue looks like they weren't able to quite get it sorted out on Heron's end before game 1 here, so they're gonna play Cube and Pete for this first map. We might see Heron step in for maps 2 and 3, so that'll be something to keep our eye on. But for map 1 here, this is gonna be a chance for everyone else on 3Dans 1 Cup to step up, because like we've been saying, every map it feels like everyone's always playing around. What is Heron doing? What are we doing to slow down Heron? Now we're gonna find out how good is this team when Heron doesn't play.
Yeah, for sure. We know that all these other players are really solid, but is the coordination gonna be perfectly there without him? I don't know exactly what Cube and Pete plays DPS. I'm guessing
He played a lot of Junkrat last season,
Junkrat?
so I'm wondering if they're gonna just try to opt back into that. That would let them run Junkrat with Dirty Dan on that. McCree is kind of their core duo.
Okay.
But I don't know for sure. It's been a long season. Cube and Pete does play a lot of Overwatch, so it's safe to guess he has a bit of a pool.
Yeah.
To me, the player to watch here, it's obvious, but it's Josh Danko. He's created so much pressure. I don't think he's gotten enough credit for his team's success, even though he's like, no one's saying bad about Josh, but the way Josh plays, he sometimes creates so much pressure in ways that are hard to gauge from the third person perspective. But that if you're Josh, or if you're Josh's teammates, you notice the pressure he's creating. So I think he's going to be a big guy that we can hopefully get a good chance to watch in this game, because if he's kind of creating even more pressure than he already has been, this team will still be fine with a substitution.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how much pressure he can put out, depending on if he wants to Diva or Zarya. Honestly, against this team, he might just be better Diva, but it might be a detriment to his team.
It's gonna be really tough for him, because I think whichever one he plays, he's gonna wish he was playing the other. But I am predicting that he's gonna start with the Diva here on offense.
Yeah, it would make sense. I think Ryan Diva for this team.
If you're expecting 30 on the Widowmaker, which we seem to be, you just have to have something that can contest it, and that would be an exciting duel. If it was Josh Danko going against 30 in that Widow versus Diva matchup for an extended period of time, oh, that's as badly gets.
For sure. Honestly, for this first point, especially without Heron, 30 is probably more freed up to not have to play the Widow. We didn't talk about that, but I would have almost expected a Sombra pick, but right now he is covering the Soldier unless he's wanting to move. He is still in spawn. Talk about the rest of his team. He's got the Ryan. They're running triple tank, which they've run a little bit before, with TK Thrifty on that Diva. 30 gonna be solo DPS.
Yeah, I think they really like this triple tank comp because it lets Chromatic play pseudo DPS as Zarya, which Zarya is very suited to doing. Chromatic, typically a DPS player, but he also plays a lot of Zarya. At least historically, he's been almost exclusively on that Zarya this season, but he's done a really good job of switching between that off tank role and that like offer tank so far off that you're essentially a DPS role. And he's been a really good complement to what the rest of his team runs.
Yep, 30 will stick on that Soldier. We'll have to see how he does.
All right, and on the other side, we've got 3Dans, 1 Cup coming out.
Goats.
Feeling close to goats, but not quite. They have Daniel on the Ana, which is very non-standard. So we'll see what they do here, as they're just kind of Lucying their way in, as we have Bench Life as Zach and Cody trying to poke from behind this Valk shield, but they are going to have to drop down eventually. It's going to be very hard for them to poke in the Soldier. Maybe not the most suited DPS, but Valk with a nice charge. He's going to eliminate Zed. That's 2 shielders down, but Josh Danko has lost the mech. That could be the big one. Checkers, though, gets an easy res onto Valkyrior, and this is looking like it's going to be good for the defense, but they do lose Thrifty's mech, but they're getting the picks. Dano and Cube and Pete both go down, and now I think it's just going to be the slim pickings here. Easy to execute for Bench Life.
Will they stagger? They will. Okay, it wasn't too bad of a stagger.
And Checkers back in the kill feed already. Maybe a little easier that time than the other 11 she's gotten. But we'll see here. I really don't like this Ana pick out of Dano right now. This doesn't work with the comp.
I personally disagree, just because if you've been watching contenders at all, I think Ana has been prevalent in the goats.
All right, well, we'll see what Dano can do. 30 with the first ults. It's going to be hard. Can he break through this Valkyrior shield?
He will.
He's getting 1 down. It's Cube and Pete, and he's actually putting some decent damage.
Oh,
not quite as much, but
hammer down.
Valkyrior on the flank. It's another huge hammer. He does this every goddamn week. He goes down, but he did a lot of damage in the process. But
that Cruz almost has ulti though.
With the nano, he's
Oh,
putting
he
it down,
checkers.
drops the hammer of his ult, but it's only on the one as these Rhines are playing completely split right now. Spawns are making it with 30, still uncontested on this high ground, and I think that might be what's giving his team the edge right now, is it's the defense. Benchlife attacking Cody, slowly turning this one. 3Dans 1 Cup were trying to spawn rush this, but they do not make it to the point in time, and now they are being chased down. TK Thrifty with checkers in his back pocket, trying to get a pick, but not gonna find it, and we start seeing some problems. Dano sticking with the sniper, but swapping roles over to the Widowmaker.
And we just talked about how he hasn't been changing roles at all, but I guess with Heron gone, makes a little bit more sense that someone needs to fill his shoes, and we'll have to see if this Widow can do it. I haven't seen Dano on DPS in so long. But if you look at the defensive side, they have 4 ultis right now with 30s coming up soon. So gotta be a little bit worried.
Big advantage, but there are at least 3 fairly close. But ooh, Checkers wins the duel again. And now Zed's gonna pop the rally anyways, even though his team is down 1. I think they're gonna try for the res. Cuban Pete, he's going high, he gets it. But this is a big advantage for Benchlife as Cody. His 30's popping the tactical visor. It's all going into that Vegeta shield, but it's not finding the kills, but it is finding the pressure here as the tanks of Benchlife are playing very far forward. Now we got a D.Va all going high. It's gonna find Checkers in the sky, but Josh died in the process, but there is no healing available for Benchlife. This dub drum went down to Dano on the sniper, and now Dano uncontested up high. We see Dirty Dano. He's grabbed, traded, but no one has anything to shoot into them. They're just gonna stop and stare at each other, but TK50's gonna lose his mech in the process, and now another D.Va bomb goes on, and actually it finds Dano, but I assume Thrifty's planning to swap, because otherwise that was a pretty bad ult. But 3Dans 1 Cup have finally broken this defensive line. It's just 3 here, and they're very split, actually. They need to get on a contested point. Checkers is going to pop Valkyrie. They want to contest this point, apparently, as 30 has made it in. And actually, yeah, Benchlife and Cody is reestablished onto this point. And this might be going very well. This is actually a very slow fight, but Valkyrie gets the hammer, but he misses the charge onto the downs, man. That could be big. 30 on the side of this fight. He's popping the tactical visor, looking for the damage, but he's not finding the kills. We see everyone kind of just very split in this
in the middle of 2 people.
Gets a res, dies in the process, but Benchlife and Zach and Cody seems to have the man advantage. Widowmaker misses a jump on the outside, and so Dano not able to get any final shots in there, and that's it. The defense holds on an insane long fight.
We're gonna have to check the footage afterwards, see how many times Dano died to the Mercy. I don't think he killed Mercy. Unfortunately for him, the other support got the better of him. I think it was 3 or 4 times, and really Checkers was almost an MVP for me. I think that Valk's ultis were pretty huge for turning that fight, specifically when they came back, but definitely huge props to their team for making that call and sticking to it. Red side looking a little bit more discoordinated as they couldn't find the targets to focus.
Yeah, now they've got a tall order ahead of them here, trying to hold first point of Anubis for 4 whole minutes. Not something you see very often at high-level Overwatch.
But there will not be a draw, as they did get 2 ticks at least. So it is possible to hold this.
If they draw this at 87.4...
You know, unlikely.
Actually, I think the way the system works, that's impossible.
There's like decimals in it.
Yeah, I think actually if the second team to go, so if Benchlife hits 87.4 right now, they win at 87.4. They don't win at 87.5. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's how it calculates.
Realistically, we probably won't have to worry about it. If it does happen, I'll be happy, but it's decently unlikely. As Dano gonna be rolling out with the Hanzo, trying to get keep his trophy as the most heroes apparently, but I don't. If we can get Aaron back in, I don't think this will continue. Dirty Dan gonna be on that McCree. They're gonna be running the Orisa D.Va, pretty standard. Cuban Pete on Ana. Set on his Mercy. And is that is a little bit more traditional goats like you said.
Oh yeah, but they are swapping off their primary DPS as Checkers has to fill the role of the comp.
Yep.
See what can these snipers do out of 3Dan's 1 cup as Dano's trying to rain some storm arrows from up high. And now 3Dan's 1 cup make their way back onto the point. We have another split fight, but Dano in the back is kind of just firing out arrows uncontested, but it doesn't look like he's hitting a whole lot of them right now. But it might be already.
Checkers!
The goats, yeah, the goats is working. They don't take any damage on that entry, and they're gonna cap this 1 fight, no problem team kill.
Just to make it worse, Checkers killed Dano again. Doesn't need to be Mercy.
Rip my chances of making the all-star support role. They're going down the drain fast. But play of the game gonna be Valkyria, who I'm thinking is gonna be a play of the game machine this season on this team. Look at this. Gets resurrected. No ult necessary. Just comes in, starts swinging on everyone. Prepare for a true display of skill, folks.
Yeah, it all started with that res. And I think that 3D1C being handed their first loss, they shouldn't be too shaken up without Heron, but definitely really well done out of bench life.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think they're going to get too tilted or anything off a loss with a sub player, and especially when it's someone that was as core to their composition as Heron was. Because last week they played without Cruise Master, but they had Cuban Pete able to play the exact same role for their team, almost exclusively Reinhardt.
And it worked out for them.
It was a pretty easy plug and play last week. This, obviously, they had to put a little more thought into. It didn't go as well.
Yep.
And so I think they're gonna sub here, and yep, we see Cuban Pete out, Heron in, and we'll see if the undefeated lineup with Heron is able to keep that going.
Yeah, kind of undefeated lineup with Cruz as well, who's only taken that one loss. So this roster in particular has been 3-0 in terms of maps.
But Checkers and friends have the opportunity to end that streak for everyone if they win another map.
Yeah, I do find it kind of silly how it become Checkers and friends, even though we've always talked about 30 as being this.
Not anymore. We know who the real superstar is.
It's Checkers.
You see me in all those team fights calling out 30's image?
Just
you see Twitch chat counting the Checkers kills?
Yeah.
Checkmate.
Checkmate. As Checkers will have to continue, but probably not against the same the same Widowmaker or Hanzo from Dana. I expect just them to run much more standard stuff as they will be on the offense. And do we see 30 play the Widowmaker here?
I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm also not going to guarantee it. There's Hollywood first point. There's just so many different ways you can approach this point. And 30's a pretty creative guy. He likes swapping things up a lot.
He'd play Soldier again. You're just gonna have to eat those words. It wouldn't shock me either. Because Soldier here is pretty solid.
Yeah, a lot of different high grounds that 30 can go uncontested on and just rain damage down. I guess it really just comes down to how tanky he thinks that 3Dan's 1 cup is gonna run.
Do you expect this Pharah out of TK Thrifty to be something they wanted just to try to match Heron's pressure?
Yeah, I think that you probably want to opt into the Pharah duel a lot, but it also was going to be a good pick into almost everything else that 3D1C has been running, not just tonight, but all season.
Yeah. And I'll see how well he prepares.
Yeah, and 30 is opting for some anti-air. Going with the McCree this time. Maybe wanted to support his flanks a little more.
Well, one thing I do want to say about this Pharah pick is it kind of sets up Checkers a little bit more to get up in the air and be more safe, I guess. And as silly as we were talking about with Checkers being this assassin Mercy, it does let her be more safe.
Checkers is living out the dream every Mercy player has ever had right now, and I'm super happy for her.
Yeah.
But we'll see if that dream can stay alive for another round as 3Dan's 1 cup coming out of spawn here. We got the standard DPS picks coming. We got Hanzo, McCree. A lot of very just standard stuff here is they're kind of winning the shield war, but both the shields are pretty low. TK50 looking for the poke, but 3 Dans 1 Cup making their way towards the points.
Yeah, gotta watch for Thrifty on the side. He's trying to look for some poke damage.
Yeah, Thrifty's playing a pretty hard flank right now, and he's actually pulled Josh Danko pretty far away from his team there, but everyone's kind of just making their way back towards the points. A long poke off before Cruisemaster finally goes down, so now maybe we see, a big grenade
huge
there. That's
purple.
going to turn into a tank trade. But Heron's down in the back end of this. I think it's going to just be a DPS off here. Checkers gets the res on correct, but oh, there's Thrifty down. I'm wondering if 3 Dans 1 Cup is taking some very strange positioning. It's like they want to contest, but they're not fully committing to contest before Josh Danko finally goes in. They did get that res onto Heron, and now we see another big fight on the point. Zedekiss popping the first Valkyrie of the fight.
Watch for Josh's ulti.
Very far behind, but there we go. Big ults coming out, and 3 Dans 1 Cup gonna mop up this point.
Honestly, I think that ulti from Heron was kind of a waste. Josh's ulti literally just came out. It's going to be a lot harder to combo, and it's not like Bench Life has anything to combo with, but still good on them to that purple really killing the enemy opposition there, forcing them back up. I think Valk was pretty nervous about it.
Yeah, there is a pick onto Heron though. 30 finds something big, so now I think we're going to see the choke contested here from Bench Life as Valk playing nice and far forward.
Does have that Earth Shatter, so you have to watch that as Cruisemaster's shield is getting pretty low. The Flank Shatter?
I got my hopes up, but no, he's falling back, getting onto the cart, as this cart is almost as far back as it can go, as you see a lot of Hollywood maps turn into huge holds here for the defense. We'll see what Bench Life can do.
And look at all these ultis on Bench Life. They've got to be itching to pull it. But Josh will pull first.
Oh, Josh dies, popping the grab. Wasn't anything to combo there as the Hanzo goes down as well. 2 ults popped out of the defense just to get some picks. No, actually, more picks coming as, yeah, Bench Life going pretty far forward. They want to push these guys all the way back to their spawn, as I think they're about to find, no, Zedekiss does make it out.
Yeah, pretty nice res. Gets bubbled there from Josh, and they will force the defense a little bit farther back, but...
It's pretty big that they got the grab out of Josh, though.
Yeah.
As Heron is actually swapping over to the far, no more Hanzo. Well, there's still a lot of ults available, 4 from each team here.
Yeah. Really watching that Reinhardt duel, see if we can get the better, as Chromatic does use his shield. Valk's trying to bait him.
Yeah,
oh, he breaks the shield, look out!
Are going to be nanoed, but Valk is creating all the pressure. Cruisemaster is not. As Valk hammered everyone down. He is so far back into the backline. Now, Cruz drops a hammer of his own, but both these teams finding a few picks as everyone kind of reestablishing towards the cart. Chromatic and 30 still alive for their team, but oh no, people are getting picked in the back. Nice long range coming out of 3 Dans 1 Cups. They're moving the cart right now. They have that. Checkers takes Heron out of the sky. The hit list continues to grow, but we're still not seeing a cart contest come out here. And now here we go. High noon out of 30 in the front. And actually, he finds Josh there right as the barrier falls off. And finally, a cart contest coming out of Bench Life. But there we go. They get Cruz. That is a res onto Josh. This could still go either way, but Bench Life is pushing this one forward, and I think this is going to be their win.
Yep, they will finally force them back as Josh able to build up another grab. They're going to be looking to set up another combo, but Heron's getting picked. Dub kills him, and so Dano goes down too.
Yeah, good ends to this situation.
These comps are actually exact mirrors, which is the most interesting thing to me. The McCree Pharah, the Ana Mercy, and the Reinhardt Zarya.
That's oddly disrespectful. Ooh, speaking of Dirty Ann going down first, gonna take the res from Zed here as Really wants to be held nice and far back.
Yeah, both Zaryas have their ultis, so they're just waiting for the supports to step a little bit too far forwards.
There's a lot of ults to combo. 30 not going to waste time here as he pops high noon up high. Just creates pressure. No picks. Now here we go.
Oh,
grab in one direction
huge.
with the big hammer. Gets comboed with TK Thrifty. But that is every ult popped out of the bench life of Zach and Cody. Complete overkill as now they're going to be down in just a moment. 0 ults to 5.
Thankfully for them, they've been holding up this far forward, so even if they lose a fight here, they'll be able to come back, and if they can build ults quick enough, they can afford to lose a fight here. but still pretty poor out of them.
Here comes Josh, aggressive with his ult, setting up Heron, but there wasn't anyone able to combo into it. Actually, they lose a man and have to pop a res here. They have 5 ults and they still haven't decisively won this fight, but there are a lot of low health fires for Bench Life and Zach and Cody. Now the picture's starting to come through, but his team is fighting stuff as well. But oh no, there goes everyone. Just as I was thinking there was a chance to turn it, it's just Valk and Dumb Drum alive, and they need to get onto this card and die instead of wasting time here because they're going to want to contest with their team. But there we go, Valk finally goes down. But they did draw out almost all of the ults in the process, as Heron is pushing forward.
Yep, kind of an awkward combo as Heron and Josh tried to combo together, but they couldn't get it done, and 30 does swap over to the Widow.
Here we go, and he immediately takes Heron out of the sky. Now this could be at the game-winning fight here, and 3D1C have already lost 2. They only have 12 seconds remaining, so they don't have options to fall back, and the hammer's big, it's heavy, and everyone is going to die on 3Dans1 Cup. They will not be able to tuck this cart, and a very solid defensive round comes out of Bench Life.
Yeah, honestly, they just kind of out-swapped them there. 30 with the Widow, swap over as soon as he dies. I don't think he died before that, so there wasn't really any reason to swap off the McCree. We will get a pause here at the end of the round.
Finding out that IBM keyboard from the 90s not gamer optimal.
Not gamer optimal indeed. As Checkers continued to find kills. I didn't expect her to be able to do as much as she is with that little pocket pistol, but I shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, she's pretty damn good at support.
Yeah. And it kind of frees up Dub to be just super far back and be keeping the team alive. Honestly, it's just working out great for them.
Yeah, this has been a very ideal situation for a first-time BOL player. That being Dumb Drum. He's a sub, or he's been a bench player before, but this is the first time as a starting player. And he has players on his team that are not only good, but they play aggressively, which creates so much pressure for him to kind of learn the game from the back line without teams able to commit as much to killing him. And he's doing a really good job of easing into that role.
Yeah, for sure. And something else to mention about Checkers being so aggressive with their pistol, it frees up Chromatic to not have to be playing DPS and be more of a tank role, where he can shine on Zarya. He's been playing really well this season, and I expect him to continue to do so. Even if they're not running their triple tank lineup.
Yeah, he doesn't. Not necessarily known for the really crazy graviton surges, and from the spectator angle, it's sometimes really hard to watch the Zaryas excel if they're not getting just the fat grabs every fight. But in terms of actually winning games of Overwatch, it's what you do between the grabs that really counts, and there is a huge amount of skill you can have as a Zarya player. It's the same thing with Josh Danko. Both these guys have been doing a great job between the ults of creating pressure, playing at high charge, keeping their teammates alive, and extending team fights.
If you watch every single time someone dies and the Mercy goes for the res, you'll immediately see both teams giving their Mercies the bubble. Chromatic and Josh Danko have been really on top of that. But talking about Zarya there, Josh Danko swapping off to the D.Va just to be able to, we did talk about it, just to be able to put out a little bit more pressure on 30 in particular.
Yeah, 30 will be on a sniper again, although it's maybe the slightly slipperier of those snipers. Studies on the Hanzo this time, wants to be able to combo with his buddy Chromatic. As we see some actual role swapping maybe coming out. DK Thrifty hovering the Lucio and Dub Drum
would they have
hovering
Dub
McCree.
Drum playing McCree?
I wouldn't roll it out. I think the Bench Life is, they have the momentum right now. 30 can get a little disrespectful when he's winning. And Dub Drum, I mean, he's been playing Ana, so it's not like they're just keeping him on the easy skill characters the whole time. Maybe he's been practicing a lot of hit scan.
Yeah, and Thrifty not known for his hit scan, so it kind of makes sense they're trying to double shut down Heron.
So
and he will roll out.
Are they gonna go for the 30 cheese play that everyone knows and loves here? I don't think so, because 3D1C is holding pretty far forward as Heron's just poking into things right now. It's actually Bench Life is kind of split here.
Yeah, both their supports are just stuck on the right side. I'm surprised there was a lot of patience out of Josh not to just go in there right onto that Lucio's face. I probably would have done it as not great.
Now Valk gets very far ahead of his team here, so he's not shielding anyone from this entry, but Bench Life is slowly pincering here. As we've got Valk and Thrifty up on the stairs. Chromatic maybe going to join them. This is a very strange and patient engage out of Bench Life.
Yeah, we'll have to watch as that Valk's charge almost gets the pin on Josh, but he's getting low.
Yeah, low, but he's going to survive, I think, because he's pumping a lot of support charge into his healers. Now we finally see some ults coming through for both sides. This has been such a slow first fight, over a minute, and no kills yet.
Ooh. It was a nice flashbang, and Heron tries to go for a point-blank barrage and gets...
Oh man,
killed.
What a huge mistake. Goes for the point-blank barrage, and now his team's Pharmacy is down. Dano's popping Transcendence on the point. He's trying to stall here. As Cruisemaster actually gets a chance to ult. 30 Dan's coming through, and actually, Cruisemaster's huge with that hammer.
As Valk does go in and kind of aggressively, he gets counter-pinned, and they're
this
still
fight-
picked.
I
This
thought
fight's
this fight
not
was
over.
over, but it's not. Valk saving this first point for his team potentially. His him and Checkers are trying to push here. They're going to pull a Valkyrie out of Zedicus. His Dirty Dan down as well. And now Dump Drop with the high mute takes Mercy out of the air. Thrifty pops the sound barrier. And what a bonkers first fight. But it's looking like Bench Life is Zach and Cody going to capture this point.
That was super back and forth. I don't think the defense can come up, so they will just back off, try to set up a defense. They did almost come back there after getting 2 picks. That's something you don't see very often out of teams, is like understanding their limits with ultis.
Yeah, and
it looked like the defense could have came back with that.
Yeah, there was definitely an opportunity there, especially if Heron and Zed had been alive for that fight. You have to think it would have been an easy win. So we'll see what they're able to do here in this next fight. Reset themselves mentally as Cruisemaster losing the hell of his shield, but Josh tossing a nice Diva ult. Finds Dub Drop in the back line as there's no Graviton on the offense. Out Checkers down as well. This is looking good for 3 Dan's 1 cup.
Yep. Cruz goes for a desperation charge, and he does. Or wait, no, that's the defense. I'm trolling.
Overwatch. Tough game to watch sometimes, but
yeah.
It's a win for 3D1C as both these teams get a chance to reset. There's gonna be a lot of ults available as we head into this next fight, though. This feels like maybe going to be the biggest fight for a while with so much on the table.
True. As the hammers are coming up for both teams, and I think Cruz, they both have their shields pretty full.
Yeah,
See who can clap it first.
Poke off begins, but now Heron gonna try to force the issue, and he's gonna succeed. Big ult finds 2 as now the DPS
but both DPS
players
are dead.
find a few picks. 30 wants to turn this fight around as he's already found 3 kills of his own. Checkers gets a res on the Valk, and I think the Bench Life is going to continue playing forward. Now Valk drops the hammer, gets some damage into the backlines. Chromatic is pushing forward. Valk pushing forward. They find the kills, and that's a nice team fight win.
Really scary and really close, but clutch DPS ultis from both Heron and 30. Heron kind of was trying to fall to avoid 30's shots, but couldn't fall quick enough. 30 does get picked, and there's no way Checkers can reach her.
Yeah, that's a big pick as we're 1 fight away from Bench Life and Zach and Cody taking this win, so they get Dub Drop is over. Zedek is actually, that's a costly pick in 3 Dan's. Well, I thought they might keep fighting, but there we go. Dirty Dan finishes things up upstairs.
Honestly, where was the Reinhardt and Lucio there where they got picked? It looked like they got super far into their spawn almost. Just pretty awkward. They're gonna have to, they do have 2 minutes, and they have gotten it mostly into the streets phase. They're gonna look for a huge, oh my gosh, 30's swap onto the Widow.
Perfect time from 30, reads the game situation, and that could be a game-sealing pick, as now it is a 5v6 with
Picks
only
2.
1 fight to lose, and he finds Dano. Dano's nightmare continues. There are some ults available here for, well,
There's
just
nothing
for
to
Josh
counter the
Danko.
grab.
Oh, this is going to be tough, and here we go. Chromatic pops the grab. There's some damage into it. Josh Danko wants to save the game with this Diva Bomb, but he doesn't find anybody. It's Chromatic finding the kills. Dano with the Transcendence makes it up split up, trying to stall this fight out, but his team, they get split. The Transcendence was not on the Resurrect. A big mistake from 3 Dan's 1 cup, and now they have lost their first match of the season.
First true match indeed, as Heron was playing I can't say if it was entirely his fault, but 30 with that Widowmaker really was just... He was insane.
Yeah, he absolutely was. Play of the game, gonna go over to the losing team here. Is Cruisemaster at least going to get that going for him, as he did have some pretty
This is
big
their
ults here.
4v6.
Yeah, so his team already down 2, turns around on the point, and pretty much as soon as he gets the hammer, he drops it and then trusts his team to get the follow-up.
Yeah. Huge. That's all there is to say about it.
Excellent.
So, team's gonna just take a quick sec to bio, apparently, so we have just a minute here before we head on soon to Paul, last map of the night, so we'll see if 3Dan's 1 Cup can maybe make some minor adjustments to take the win, as this is now a really huge map on Nepal, because these teams are playing for sole possession of first place.
And we were talking about, well, the pregame show was talking about if anyone can take down 3Dan's 1 Cup, and I didn't get to put out my information, but if it's any team that would really be their kryptonite, it'd be a team like Bench Life, where 30 can play that Widowmaker to the highest level, and right now looking like the best Widowmaker in the league, just to counter Heron so hard. And their tank play, Chromatic will only get better as the season goes on, and I think he can almost rival Josh Danko's Zarya. Maybe not to the full extent, but he's pretty up there close.
Yeah, when Chromatic is in peak form, I mean, yeah, he may be as good, if not better, than Josh Danko at that Zarya. Josh, can really... We've seen a pretty wide range of seasons out of him. Yeah, I think this Bench Life team is looking super scary, and I agreed. I thought on paper, before they played this match, this was maybe one of the teams best equipped to handling 3Dan's 1 Cup, and it's been the case through these first 2 maps.
Yeah.
So we'll see what 3D1C does to adjust.
Sadly, the biggest problem with 3Dan's 1 Cup is that they're super one-dimensional, and what they really want to do with that Ryan Zarya, sometimes the Diva, but if Heron's not on Pharah, I think this team's just 20 times worse. And with someone equipped like 30 on the Widowmaker, or someone maybe like TV Junkie, if he can have a good day, it's gonna be a lot harder for them against these type of teams, and it makes them a lot better equipped against the lesser hit scan teams, but still. We'll have to see how they do, as it's not only the counter Heron show, but if 30 just gets 2 picks off in a fight like he did at the very end, what are you going to do as a defense? You can't 4v6 every single time.
Yeah, we're seeing that this is maybe a situation where 3Dan's 1 Cup isn't prepared for it. To be a lot of their lower half of the roster players, they don't seem ready to be on the back foot, because they haven't been much this season. As I think we just had a disconnect here, so this will maybe be another minute before we get in the game, guys. We're gonna make sure we get both these teams situated, as Overwatch being Overwatch, or maybe just TeamSpeak. I'm not sure. I don't see her Checkers. I see his drop TeamSpeak. We'll see if she's dropping Overwatch as well.
Bench Life did drop week 1, if I remember correctly, to Mad Cow. 1
yes,
to 2?
they did. Yeah, 1 to 2 in week 1. So, actually, Mad Cow Disease, the other team that's on the rise, is they're about to play the winless Walmy Maybe in this next match. If Mad Cow Disease 3-0s Walmy Maybe in our last match of the night, they will be tied for first with whoever wins this Nepal map.
Wow, that's
that
really
points.
is insane.
Yeah, it's been a very exciting season so far. We've seen a lot of back and forth matches. We've seen the standings change dramatically every week so far. I'm really excited to keep playing games this season.
And a match like that first week, 1 to 2 for Mad Cow Disease was probably pretty important for them, because I don't see them being able to replicate a performance like that against a team if Bench Life keeps performing as well as they have in this game. And I mean, it's only week 3, but if they can keep this up like they've been playing against 3Dan's 1 Cup, They're the team to be reckoned with.
Yeah, as anyone that's ever watched professional sports analysis knows, the point of sports analysis is to completely overreact with hot takes in the moment at every opportunity.
Exactly.
And I will say right now, I guarantee that not only will the bench life of Zach and Cody be your BOL Season 5 champions, they aren't even going to drop 2 more maps all season.
Oof. Well, that's spicy, actually. I don't know if I can come where you're saying with the whole the champions, but you know, dropping maps.
Nope, I'm in. That's
You're all in.
Drop Cruise
Put your
Master.
bait cone
How
down.
many bait coin can I put on that one?
How many can you just all in all of his Bitcoin right now in like all the future weeks that he'll be getting just towards them not dropping any maps or 2 maps, he said?
Now that I made that statement on stream, I guess I actually have to bet all my Bitcoin on bench life every week.
Every Yep. But
other than when they're playing casting couch, since we can't bet against our own teams. As all right, I think we got the ready out of checkers. Is maybe she also lives in is this country just getting fucked on both sides by hurricanes right now?
Definitely towards East Coast. I've heard of hurricanes towards
Well, Kazuki Beans mentioned something earlier about the storm coming her way, and she's out in Hawaii.
Hawaii.
So
That's pretty far though. There's plenty of hurricanes.
Yeah, it's a scary time to be alive, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty close to one myself. Hurricane Florence coming in to North Carolina. That's I'm not too worried because I'm not coastline, but it's a scary time to be a BOL player.
Yeah.
Or just an American. One of the two.
Alright, so we are heading on to Nepal here. Last map of the night. Like I said, winner of this game will be currently in first place in the entire league at 7 wins. So, pretty important map. As, I expect that we're going to actually see something new out of Bench Life, which is what they're currently hovering. They're going for a pretty beefy 3-tank composition.
With Dub on the Brigitte. I don't know how much I like this Brigitte. I don't think it's...
I think one of these healers
great.
needs to change. I don't think Bridge Mercy quite complements this comp. I think either Moira Bridge or... I really like a Moira here, but I'm a pretty big Moira fanboy, so...
The only reason I don't like Bridge is because Dirty Dan will always be on that McCree and Heron's going to be on the Fair. It's pretty hard to reach them.
Yeah, they must be opting to try to take out Cruise Master's shield. So we'll see what happens here as it's Bench Life of Zach and Cody creating some pressure early.
Interesting.
Putting on a lot of damage too.
The Rhine goes in and Valk goes down.
Yeah, that's a big first pick, and I think Bench Life, they're going to just give this point here, but they're getting pretty split here. Checker's going to have to escape her way out. Dub Drum already down. I think that's going to be the last pick. There's not
really awkward, which you didn't even mention, is TK Thrifty opting onto the Roadhog, and we will see Dub swap off that Bridget, but this Roadhog really completely doesn't make sense to me. I think it's bad into Zarya, it's bad into what they like to play, and D.Va's just way better.
Yeah, maybe they were thinking there were going to be some different picks coming through, but that was not the case, but it doesn't matter when you have the head cooker himself. And there you go, you doubted it. He's going to come in, find Zedicus, the Zed special, getting caught to start the team fight, and 30 and Thrifty just mop up the entirety of 3Dan's 1 cup. And they flip the point. Yeah,
just awkward picks, really. I think maybe the Zenyatta pick was pretty essential towards it, getting that Discord orb, but you can't really compliment it. It was mostly just 30 and Thrifty getting nice picks.
Yeah, now we could get a really spicy next fight here. No one popped any ults in that last fight, so there's going to be a lot available for this third fight of the game.
Yeah, my eye will be on Josh Tanko on the Zarya, and he's going to get that picked up. Will not have his ulti.
Yeah, Heron shielded, but it's not a ton of damage, but it's still some picks coming through. Heron and Dirty Dan find one apiece. Checkers comes through and gets a res, but now Cruise Master gets the hammer down on the point. This is turned into a very split fight, but this is looking good for 3Dan's 1 cup as they're slowly pushing the enemy team back. But as I say that, 30 finds the rocket onto Heron, but now Valk with the here. Here. most of the damage going to go into the Lucio wall, but it's still damage going through. Dum is trying to find some damage from the flank here, and no one seems to know to turn and pick the Zenyatta off, but 30 is finally down, and this is looking great. Now, Dum actually gets the Transcendence. And it's
this should... Oh, Dirty Dan will even use his ulti, and Thrifty's just trying to body block and kill. What?
Thrifty sacrifices himself to save his team, apparently, but that's going to be a win as super weird team fight. But the defenders come out on top, and now they only have to win one more fight as they had a lot of time there.
But Dub gets picked. He will get rezzed and have to watch Chromatic Zarya as he's the only ulti right now available. It's got to be big.
If you can force the tempo, as this team has already lost their other tank, there's nothing to shield it. And now it's the grab coming through. It's big. And I think Benchlife and Zach and Cody are going to take this first part of Nepal.
Yeah, they only have 5%, and it's really hard to see. Dano's gonna have to be the fastest Lucio boy alive, but Thrifty hooks him, and it's over.
Yeah, that was not happening. As a very solid first round of Nepal coming through for Benchlife.
Well done.
Well done indeed.
Even a little bit back and forth. There were definitely a lot of key picks that kept going around. And as we go into Sanctum, picks specifically the ones that go into the hole, pretty important. And I know Josh Danko loves to play Roadhog here. Yeah, I expect the Roadhog.
We're gonna see an exciting Roadhog duel here on the Bang Sanctum. As currently 30's hovering that Widowmaker. This could be big because there's not a lot there. I mean, there's no dive on the enemy team here, so I know it's almost cast or cheating to say keep your eye on 30, but folks, keep your eye on 30. This is set up for another big Widowmaker map.
But Heron is not on that Pharah, so it's maybe a little bit harder, but I've already said that Heron nowhere near as good.
Yeah, so here we go. 30 finds his first pick as Josh Danko goes down, losing the war of attrition with the enemy team, but they are still committed. There's no way out of this fight, but the picks are coming through for Benchlife, and they're going to go mop the team up and then cap the point as Checkers is finally going to start capping this point solo. All her team needs. They lost Valk, but it's not going to matter. He makes it in before, or she's even going to get the res.
Get a res. Yep. Awkward
Happy
Josh
birthday,
Danko
Valk.
getting... Yep, happy birthday. Josh can't get rezzed on that because that is on this Moira. And 30 finding it a huge pick. Ooh. Really set the tone for that fight.
Yeah, 30 just waiting off in the back, in the wings. You're looking for things on the side, but here we go. Josh Danko comes in. No one notices, and he gets that first brutal hook. Now Zed popping a big healing cone.
Oh, it's huge!
Everyone yet again! Oh, this is maybe not a disaster because the damage was actually pretty far back, but it's... Yeah, this should be a turn. Josh Danko with the big hole hog, but 30 is still finding the damage here.
Where's this Reinhardt coming from? Another hook! He goes down again, but Josh is gonna finally admit defeat.
Yeah, it took longer than I thought it was going to when I saw that Valk ult, but it still comes through as a team fight win, and it didn't take just a 30 infrasight coming through. There's still some nice ults available here for Benchlife, as this was a pretty slow fight. It's going to be hard to fit two fights in, but here we go. Flanking Hanzo, but it's going to be Transcendence. Dump jump. Nice pop of the Q there. And now we are in one fight territory. As Heron, oh no. They at least have the time to reset for this one fight if they want to, but 30 and company do think to pull the trigger as we do have a Roadhog duel off to the side. Josh Danko once again gets the better. 30 has the snipes come through. Oh man.
How do you... Everything's everywhere. They're all over the place. And Checkers finds another kill.
Yeah, communication is so solid here at Benchlife and Zach and Cody. They are abusing the enemy team as Josh Danko. He should be able to touch this
5%.
point.
Can they touch?
I thought he could, but I think he failed to jump over there on the side of the wrecking ball. He definitely failed to jump on the wrecking ball on the side. I don't know for sure if he could have touched, but ends up being such a cleanly communicated map out of Benchlife and Zach and Cody. And not only do they give the first loss, they give a 3-0 loss. And Valk, yet again, coming through with the play of the game. These hammers were just big all night, and look at that. He is waiting. No, he's not waiting for the hammer to drop. He's waiting for the grab to drop, as he's going to turn and dump a full DPS rotation into there.
That looked like a full sex double kill. Really well done out of him. I think his charges were pretty key this game, as after 30 got picks, he immediately was going right in there, and without a couple of their players, they couldn't capitalize on how aggressive he was playing.
Yeah, so congrats to 3Dans. Sorry, no.
No.
Congrats to the bench line of Cody. That was not me being me. I mean, fuck, all right, congrats to 3Dans 1 Cup. You finally lost the match. I mean, you gotta lose maps eventually, and this will hopefully give them a chance to figure out some of the flaws in their game and see if they can start growing as a team. But congrats to the bench life of Zach and Cody. They were phenomenal tonight, and I think they have the whole league on notice now. So that's going to do it here for Game 2, guys. We'll be back in a moment. We're going to cut the stream in a sec here. We're going to swap streamers, and we'll be back for Walmy Maybe versus Mad Cow Disease. So stay tuned.